All righty, it's 6:05, so we'll call the meeting to order. What else I gotta say? Yeah. Go over the prior meeting minutes, which we do not have any.
Yep.
There was a snafu in recording the last meeting, so nothing got recorded. For Aaron to do the minutes, so we do not have minutes from last time.
I'll try to put something together for the next one, from what I can remember.
So I can't tell if anybody else is on the phone there. I do not see anybody there. So we're all here except for Ryan. And so we have something.
A date, here, yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, just roll call, but that's basically, we're all here except Ryan. Yep. We do, yeah, it should say, somebody's in the
People
weight
waiting.
room, yeah,
Yep, nobody really.
we don't know.
So nobody online, no community input, but we do have Wally and Mark here to go over the Graves Beach Jetty in Brighton. So you guys wanna? Oh, Wally.
Just
Mark is shy tonight.
maybe a real review here. We should probably come up with a better name.
Yeah, that's like. Hey, it was your name, not mine.
That's what
That's what it
called.
is, yeah.
Spell with a Y though.
Yeah.
typically.
Oh, okay, well,
But so just for a review, what we're trying to do is to reconstruct the existing drawings,
This is
both
last
north
week.
and south. And the advantages of that would be to number one, clean up the one that's there, which is virtually destroyed. I do have pictures. I don't know if y'all can get them up there, because I should.
No,
I don't know how to project it.
All right. We'll
You can-
use your imagination.
Okay,
And so the north groin
with the Y.
is where kayaks launch from. Right now, yeah, this would be the north groin right here. And now that the boundaries are installed for the swimming area, there's a bit of an overlap. So the idea is to rebuild the groin and make it more accessible for kayakers, non-motorized vessels, with paddle boards, sun fishers and things like that. Give you good access along the groin.
I'm sorry, how is it inaccessible now to a kayak?
Well, right now it's so beat up that there's a debris field,
Mhm.
and it basically overlaps from the groin south to where the swimming area goes.
Do most people access it from the swimming area?
Yes. At low tide.
Okay.
And,
Speaking to the recreation part,
that's the recreational part.
so the reason that we brought the project up is to have it protect the shore. And the groin, by definition, is a shore protection structure built usually perpendicular to the shoreline to trap littoral drift or retard erosion from the shore, and that's the primary reason. But while we're speaking to what we talked to the rec department about, is that we're gonna be able to hopefully walk on the top of this and make it like a structure that you could actually go out and launch a kayak if you have to. So that's part of it. So I noticed in here, this is the shore protection manual for them. I went to college moons ago. Groin system is a series of groins acting together to protect a section of beach, commonly called the groin field. So what we're trying to do is put the structures up that kept the sand there in years past, put them back together so that the sand will stay there, so the sand doesn't keep washing out into the bay.
Though it
And will
says
stay
the road
up.
further down.
Correct, but and to stop the erosions up at the top. So it'll save the town money trucking sand down there if it works. And these are used all over the country, to create, anytime that there's sand moving sideways. There isn't a lot of sand moving sideways, but there's enough that it dissipates right from Grace Beach. So you're losing the sand and sand going out to sea, and it goes both ways. It comes to my house, I told Wally, I'm cutting myself off from a good source of sand, but that's okay, because I think it really needs to be at Grace Beach where everybody wants. So conservation should support this because we're gonna be able to stabilize, hopefully.
Have you gone through an engineer yet looking at these as far as?
No, we
Okay.
have not, but I talked to Freeman Boynton,
Mhm.
who did the, Adina, right?
Yeah, the
he-
father or the son?
The father, Freeman. He gave me some rough numbers.
Mhm.
So he said for engineering and
Mhm.
permitting,
Mhm.
and there's a zillion permits, as I'm sure you all know, having done the Airbnb. You're probably looking between 30 and 50 grand. For all the permitting and engineering. For this stuff.
My question was more of a, has anybody looked at it from a, what do you call it, hydrology kind of point as far as, because if everybody like zooms out on Google Maps, you can see what a groin does by looking at Delano's Wharf. You can see the sand depositing on the north side of it and building up, and it's holding it there. Conversely, if you go down to, say, the wharf at Portage Park, you can see sand building up against the wharf, and then that little, I forget what it was, outfall structures also building it. And I don't know, to me, that looks like water is moving south along Grays Beach and north along Portage and then going out those channels. So I guess my question is, if the wharf is already catching the north sand, like how much is that north
Northbound
growing?
sand.
Well,
Oh, yes.
it's building up sand on the north side of that,
On Delano's.
on Delano's, yeah.
Right.
So,
Essentially, this is to keep the sand that we put there.
yeah, so
But
I
you
guess,
won't have a source. In fact, that is hurting your ability to have the natural sand.
right,
But
because they're
look
cutting you
north
off.
of that, there isn't a lot of sand.
No,
So whatever
there's-
is up there is not gonna be
Yeah.
a big source.
rocks, the ultimate source, yeah.
Right.
So I mean,
So-
it looks like, I don't know, just looking overhead, the southern growing, that's the most important one. If that's the way your flow is, to catch the
Right.
sand. But my question is, what's that little stream that comes out there? Because if that's also to the north of it, you've got water outflow.
So
Pushing
the
it out.
stream has moved since I was a child.
Yeah.
From the south side of that point.
Yeah.
To the north side of that, where it just makes the problem worse.
Right. Can we put it back on the other side?
Well, that's what we were hoping.
Okay.
So if we could do that, right now, the marsh has grown up to that
Mhm.
groin. So it's basically a dam and it forces
Yeah.
the water onto the other side of the jetty, the
Mhm.
groin. And now it's taking those sand particles like an ant.
Yeah.
It's taking one particle.
Yeah.
And when we have a storm, that thing runs.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was gonna say,
Perfect.
yeah, I just,
had some pictures, but-
yeah, my concern would just be is if that outflow is still on the north side of that growing, like when we redid the southern one, that would kind of flush it all out. But if we can move it, if that's where it used to be and we can put it back there, that would be huge.
That's what I'm hoping. If
Yeah.
I can find some pictures that say, look, we'd like to put this back where it was.
Yeah.
The problem is there's some marsh area that is now developed on that side of the groin. So would they let us take the culverts?
Yeah.
Conservation doesn't even talk about a culvert. That would be the best way to get it down
Yeah.
past the marsh. And then the rest of it. And they would like to grow, conservation would like to grow marsh
Mhm.
on both sides of that groin.
Mhm.
But they're not gonna succeed as long as the water is continuing to take all the
Right.
material that out. See?
I know. Can we get a new one? Just run it through the middle of the old one and the new one?
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what, if they made a trough
Yeah,
so that the water would stay in
Yeah.
the two sides, that would be how I'll look at doing it. But
yeah,
What they'll let you do, the Army Corps of
Yeah.
Engineers does have jurisdiction because it's in navigable water,
Mhm.
and it's below the high tide line. So just like the dock I built, we're gonna end up filing with them.
Yeah.
They usually don't have an issue with it.
yeah,
Department of Marine Fisheries, only if you're gonna really, do they chime in, if you're gonna impact the shellfish.
Mhm.
So if we're gonna
Mhm.
kill clams, you're gonna wanna say, okay, we need to offset, get some sheep clams or whatever, but I think stabilizing the environment is gonna be better for the clams overall, not letting the sand just keep going.
Well, then no one could access them though, like, I mean, anybody knew it was gonna be shellfishing on the shore, and be able to.
Right, that whole area, Grays Beach is a pretty good recreational shellfish bucket right now, there's a lot of people use that. But I don't think this is gonna change that significantly, because we're not gonna be pulling any soil.
How far out of the Jenny zone?
Approximately 100 feet.
So you can see that's 100 feet beyond the rocks that are there.
The
Yeah,
existing-
it's the same length, but it's buried.
Right,
So that rocks.
And whether or not we can relocate the,
Yeah.
um,
But they were-
stream onto
look at
the
that,
other side.
that's
Right.
because this is
That's what they're
basically
showing
river
there,
now.
that.
right.
You know,
Which is freshwater.
Mhm.
see what the work is doing, the sand build
I
up
think
there.
it would actually
It's
help
Most
outside.
places only have one and
Put
not
a
two.
jetty over here.
Well, they're not
That
growing,
way
they're
the
just
water
structures.
is-
Yeah, I think water on the other side.
You know,
Have we
that's-
actually
that's all
lost soil at?
So that's about all you can do, then whatever Matt wants to build there, you can build all the monsters.
Does the public have
Yeah.
access to this one?
That's a property.
This one
Okay,
makes the
they're
most
both on
sense,
the
especially if
property.
you can get.
Okay.
There's a
There's a
culvert,
neighbor
there's a
between
stream
me
that comes out here.
and
You could
the
get the
beach.
growing
Okay.
on the
that
north
owns
side of
the out
that,
here. but
because what
the
happens is the sand gets moving,
Yeah.
you know, it gets agitated by waves, it gets out
But
here, and then you
as
have
far as
water
the
coming
kayaks,
out,
they come down
it just
the ramp.
blows it away.
The
Whereas
ramp area.
The water wasn't
Right.
blown away, just running out. and then
Well,
you
the ramp,
Build up against,
the ramp
Yeah,
also,
eventually.
is an
Should.
emergency.
you know, you lose a little bit of sand, but it would build up over
So I
here.
talked to the fire.
Wasn't as much.
We all know that's a joke.
Well, you took the
It
words right out
would
of
be a
it.
nice walkway to go down and get on the jetty and walk out and drop it.
Right.
Yeah, so that would, it would include rebuilding this ramp and making it usable.
Right.
For not only kayakers, but fire department.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now, there's the whole toe of the ramp is all scoured out, the sand's all gone, there's a cliff. So if they went to use it, they're gonna hurt themselves,
But they want to use it, they'd be stuck in.
they'd be stuck,
Right.
they usually get stuck.
So it's affects not only waterfront, but fire department, conservation, and recreation owns it. And they love the idea too.
So we're selling them a little bit on the use of getting the kayaks into the water. As well as the fact of stabilizing. Yeah. Short the shore for the.
Yeah, this whole area here, something needs to be done, because it's every time you get a storm, it just,
Right.
it's like taking a backhoe to it.
And there's a spring that-
Not on the north side.
right on the left side.
Oh, it is,
So
yes.
side of that,
I've never seen.
Because at one point we talked about here, there. And that's a,
Right, that was
Yeah.
right, you wanna do
But-
something, but we put it too close to the swim beach, so you can't use it for motorboats.
Well, the idea is not to have motorboats, but to have it,
But it'd be great for the kayak.
yeah, just kayaks and paddleboats.
Mhm.
Small
So
sail.
who's paying for it? That's the big part.
That's
Oh,
it.
right, so we've been looking.
You're asking the wrong person. We're looking at it.
I see recreation money there.
Not coming out of the waterfront improvement budget, right? Yes.
Yeah.
So we would approach CPC and hope that you guys could either co-sponsor with REC or at least support with a letter of support for the initiatives to see if we can get funding money to get the engineering done. And once we get the engineering done, we have an idea of scope of what we need to apply for grants for the state and the federal government. But coastal protection money is being used by all the other towns on the coast, except Kingston. We really haven't gone out and asked for it. And, you know, Pine would love to put her seawall together
It's great.
with it on the river, but I think this is a better public use of the money than it is to fund a private nonprofit
I don't think so.
that's got a seawall problem. So that's my opinion, but
And CZM and all those other, committees, they want to see town investment.
And how does it benefit you guys? What's your incentive to push
it
this
will
forward?
create the stabilized coastline, because
So your property would be
this, all
better
of
off?
this property can,
Braintree Ave basically would be better protected
too,
from,
because,
storm surge from the southeast.
It's okay to have a better government. I'm just
yeah, the
asking.
southeast right now blows right through, and they're gonna have to all do something like I did with the seawalls. At this point, but that would, this would help protect that, because it'd bring the level up, the waves would break sooner, it wouldn't get to the sea. this would be material. To do that. So right now, they're not functioning. They're at the level they're at, the dilapidated stuff, they're not doing anything. So they're stopping the sand a little bit, but they're not stopping any wave action.
So Matt, maybe you can explain this to me, so, or you can, like, when there's a groin, it helps to protect the sand in that area, but it often,
Well,
when you
it
go
catches
downshore,
The
it
groin like.
makes it worse, from what I've read.
It
Is
could-
that not
It-
right?
it
Correct.
can, yeah.
Okay,
So, I mean, part of it, like
What
I
if
was
you had-
talking about, if you look at overhead view of like Delano's
Sure, so
wharf.
Delano's
acts-
working great.
acts as one, and it's, well, it's not. It's acting as an artificial groin. Like,
Yeah.
It's just like, there was a wharf built and it catches sand on the north
and is
side.
that why
Right.
this one is maybe less effective, because we're downstream of that?
There is a vacuum in front of the Braintree Avenue houses
Yeah.
because the wharf stops the silt from getting to it.
Yeah.
So there's usually a buildup on both sides, but
Mhm.
there's a predominant side that gets more of it based on what they call the longshore drift, which is the predominant prevailing storm, which is north to south, that you said. But you'll notice on the other side, like when you get down to the Cottage, this flows the other way.
Right.
So somewhere in between, it becomes
Mhm.
neutral, and based on the shape of the bay, it would probably be right around that point.
So is there a need for two?
Oh, is there a
Right.
need?
Because there was there are two.
Right.
And because we have
Like
the
we were
structures,
reconstructing.
that gives us the opportunity to repair what we have. It's easier to ask to repair something that's already there. We went out and said, you want to build these today?
Right,
It would be monumental because
I just didn't know if
they
you
don't
needed
want
to rebuild
structures.
both.
Right, they're all about letting nature do its thing, but that might mean Grace Beach would be mudflat. It depends on where you're at, but it's like dredging. If we had dredged, we could dredge again, but we haven't dredged.
Mhm.
These are two structures that exist that we can renovate. I think we can get funds to do it. That's what
I
we're
think we have dredged, we showed that,
to find it.
yeah, we had our vote. A year the other. It was like $4,000, they dredged them. Instead of 40, it's hard to get. But they did dredge in like,
Nice.
For $4,000?
it was like $4,000.
That's a lot of money.
That's
They
like
buy
three
Grace.
doubles.
Sounds like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But hey,
Well, Grace Beach purchase price was 3,500. I'm doing in 1936.
Oh, my God.
And they spent $200 for the Adina property, with the Harbor Metro offices. He bought that from WW Loan, my great grandfather, sold it to the town for $200, which was just from the road, upriver. The other side there, yeah. But there was a waterfront committee, special committee. And I have all the history of the waterfront committee, but where it was sitting with all the stuff for the Kingston Yacht Club that I'm doing, about 300 books, so that's cool. Someday I'll
Very
give it to you.
cool, yeah.
Yeah, how it went from 3 members to 5 members to 7 members, all the progress.
As far as Grace Beach, though, wouldn't you say this is the more important one up on that side?
It is to try to stop the, right, both. of
Yeah.
them. But at this point,
I mean, if you're gonna do one, you should do both.
Both.
anyways.
and Wally was saying, can we do the one for recreational benefit and not do this one? And I'm saying, if you go in and ask for it and you go out to bid and it's too much money, you just say, we'll have one and then maybe add alternate to it. And I can't afford option 2, then you just do one. But at least you have all the engineering and the study done. And you could always
For
come
the
back
same
and say,
price.
we want to go find some more money to finish it.
The engineering will last.
Right, right.
So that's probably money well spent. If you can't afford the stones to put in place.
Yeah. And Paul Brogdon gave us approximately the same number, but he didn't put anything in paper, which we were hoping.
That, well, Finn, I just had a conversation with him this morning. So we were just throwing numbers around.
Yeah, well, we have to vote to it.
Bo must build walls too, doesn't he? Over in Duxbury.
He does.
He's a nice.
They're all Duxbury people,
Yeah.
so it's, Brogdon's retiring, he's 70 something years old, so, but he wasn't cheap when he did my seawall. And only because he had done my job, could I go back to him for the seawall for him and I'd save him. And I don't know if I'd use him just because you need somebody, even, somebody like Grady could bid on it too. To do he's got some folks that people working for him. Anyway, but we're looking for your support.
Who does?
Duxbury Construction.
Yeah,
Just for the cost of the ramp, it was a lot less than.
Yeah,
These structures are not gonna be small. Average mean high tide is what, 12 feet these days?
Yeah.
So they gotta be
14,
on the
15.
storm surge.
Mhm.
And from the southeast, it's a decent storm surge. Because the fetch, it's a long ways from Plymouth Beach to here, unobstructed. And just like northeast is unobstructed all the way from.
Would the jetty come all the way up to the wall now, or would it just be the existing out?
I
They
think
would,
you have to have access, public
they were a
access.
lot.
Right,
Somebody
that's my
can walk
concern,
by. So it might come a little bit closer, but you have to have a walkway.
yeah. Right, okay.
I mean, I would love it to go right to your seawall to keep people out, but I don't think that's gonna.
Fish, fowl and transit, we gotta.
Gotta let them, yeah.
Mhm.
If you're gonna rebuild it up, did you just move it over? So, right,
It's
on the lot
No, that's
line
in,
now.
Pam's slots.
oh, I mean, it move it towards Great Beach, though.
Oh,
That's
sure,
a great shot.
yeah, I think you could do that.
The beach, you get a little narrow, but
It doesn't have to go 14 feet high, or is there happy medium where,
How high is it now?
is the sand really gonna go over?
It's about 3 feet.
2 feet, and you're gonna build it
no,
up to
that
14?
would help break the
I know,
waves.
That's,
High and ugly.
Yeah,
I feel
that's-
like you're gonna get. some
That's gonna be an eyesore.
I don't know
and
if you'll end up with it that high, in spite of the fact, well, we would like it that high, but for the wave block.
still.
But it will block the waves even if it's below the surface.
True.
It will break on it. Okay, and, you're gonna get a 2 feet wherever it was originally designed for, we can find the plans that way. But you've got global warming and a couple feet you're gonna get as a bonus on top of that for design. For whatever it was designed before. But the idea of putting something flat on the top so you could walk on it like they do the jetty over at Plymouth, yeah, would be a value added. You know, with the structure, because you're essentially getting your dock and in a very forever structure.
I just think we have these two 14-foot structures on both sides of Great Beach.
It'll look like a tunnel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's gonna be
They'll
terrible.
probably be 10 or 12, but I don't
But
think they're
still.
gonna be that bad. And they're gonna be sloped, so you worry about kids blowing off and all that stuff. But they also provide a laboratory for kids to play and find things, rocks that are growing into. So, I mean, it's fun to go to the beach. There's several of these on the canal, as examples. If they're done right and they're placed, these I would place with the smooth stones. On the seawalls, we're finding that you put ragged, rough, it breaks up the wave and then it doesn't, when it comes in, it dissipates all the energy. Otherwise, they hit the wall and they slide down that smooth wall, grab all the sand and take it right back out to sea. And they scour the bottom. But the wall, we designed mine specifically to have it rough. I would say this would be better smooth, just so that they stay stable. 'Cause it's gonna be-
and it'd be better looking.
Then you've already got the smooth wall over here. Like Pam's.
Yes,
That's all we
and that belongs to the town. Because when our walls get damaged, you have such a small portion of the wall, it's like, hell, it will fix yours too. Which I've only lived here, I don't know, 25 years. So I'm a newbie. And, I've had to fix my wall 2-3 times. And to keep it from like totally falling.
But
And your wall too has fallen apart.
The smooth one in the last line. Now it's the.
Right.
They sink it with little rocks, with keeping the big ones. And
So
it
what
has a
we-
stable structure.
What we do as neighbors, we all get together and hire a guy. And the last time was, I think, 2 years ago. We hired a guy and conservation said, sure, fix it, but don't put a machine on the beach. So we ended up fixing it from our yards. And so far so good.
My perspective is, I was looking at the engineering, but not the actual build. It was solid with the engineering, like, before you put our name on it, saying, yeah, we split this.
Right.
yeah, definitely here.
You gotta start
What the
somewhere.
engineers.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the process of the engineering, the we'll get an expert, we'll get the opinion comments from everybody that's on the permit side. And they reach out to the Army Corps now has a, when you make your application, before you actually file it, you actually go through and go through a checklist and they'll actually give you feedback before you actually file it. So it doesn't come back. Waste time to have one denied because you missed something or because you didn't have the right information that they wanted and you're doing something that they didn't want.
So CZM does the same thing.
Yeah.
You can talk to them prior to submitting, once you submit, that's it. They also have deadlines.
I was just gonna ask what your timeline was.
Yeah, I think it's gotta be October, I think, they have to, everything has to be in. All T's crossed and I's dotted.
So you don't probably, until the fall, you're not gonna be able to get the fund.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, we're not even talking this year.
Yeah, you're probably talking next year,
2025.
5.
Maybe 26. Depending upon, you know,
You've got a firm number for your engineering, you could be in front of CPC with an application back.
But isn't CPC only in the spring?
Right, but your application deadline's October.
Right.
But then, I'm just saying, I wouldn't miss that opportunity.
Right.
But you need an actual cost estimate, right? Whoever get it from, go to CPC and say, we'd like to fund this. And fight with everybody else's people project.
and Freeman there, I mean, he's a known factor. Right, you guys happy with what he's doing down there?
Couldn't be happier.
Yeah. He seemed very, I mean, I just met him, I think it was April 8th, we had the meeting at the groin, miserable day, but, he seemed like a pretty decent guy.
They built some serious stone walls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He knew his business.
sure does.
well, I call the size of the rocks Vermont and, you know, New Hampshire, the size of the rocks they have there.
Rhode Island.
Not even Rhode Island. Pebbles.
The rock, the material is available in the quarries in Quincy, and, that's where all mine came from. Trucks. Make the company. That's not,
Price.
yeah, price, but, and they were pricey, but they're not,
Yeah.
believe it or not, the labor's more expensive than the rock.
Mm.
But they have special trucks that are all smashed up already, they drop these boulders off, and,
Yeah.
you know. That's what they do with them.
You need to get a barge in there with a crane. And, it's an art form to put those in
You might do it with an excavator on the beach, if they let them.
if they run.
Yeah.
Put plates down and everything else, protect the beach.
But stump by.
Well,
Yeah.
protect the beach and clams,
Yeah,
co-ops.
So we'll get our paperwork together, I guess, and come back and then ask you guys to maybe do a letter of support.
Sure.
Have to get closer to CDC.
And then are you should we talk to rec department or should, do you guys talk to each other?
we don't
Not
talk to
really,
Rick.
no.
No.
They own the dirt. So
Yeah.
we gotta go, they're gonna have to be the ones that have it on their
Yeah.
capital plan to improve the process.
Exactly.
If you guys sign,
We're just waterways.
Yeah.
but we don't wanna have you zing it at the end after we do our homework.
Yeah, no, good.
Tentative support vote would be good, just to say we tentatively support, wait for our official application, at least we'll have something to say.
Yeah.
You know, the other boards, if you guys wouldn't mind doing that, and, you know, from the concept, but we're gonna have to get you all the material, so we don't expect you to commit.
Yep.
And like I said, I'd commit to the engineering too, if I was sitting in the chair,
Yeah.
and not, but certainly not paying for it.
Yeah.
Because if we don't find money, it's not gonna
It's
go
not
by.
Yeah.
happening,
Yeah.
But we're all taxpayers.
Yeah.
We all have a budget. I kid, it's not gonna look good next year.
Mhm.
Right now,
The town budget?
yeah, we got a lot of catch up to do.
Yeah.
Keep up with inflation. I wouldn't be bringing this up. Town meeting.
Yeah.
No, little engineering money, okay.
Yeah,
So you might actually do better because some of the projects that they only throw a lot of money at, they might be going,
put the brakes on. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Interesting project.
Yeah.
What else you got on your list today? Anything exciting?
Now we're gonna talk about the boat ramp next.
Oh, you might hang out. Listen to
It
that. Is that operational?
is.
How dare you?
Yeah.
As the clock ticks towards Memorial Day, I think we got about 6 calls a day, right?
Mr. Chairman, excuse me one second. I just gotta put stuff upstairs for planning board meeting and stuff.
Oh,
I'll be
sure.
right
Say we take a brief
Yeah,
recess.
I second.
I'll be able to read it, right.
Yeah, I look at that.
Well, the boat ramp is, it's done. It is, I drove by there yesterday, I think, Saturday, and totally impressed with everything that got done. The new railings are in for the handicap ramp out to the picnic table, and it's all ADA compliant. I don't hear complaints, but I'm not down there like Tom is yet.
I don't know, a lot of people love that, man.
Yeah,
But then, yeah, how about people launching on it? Did they,
Tom Woodard was down there night, 3 hours after high tide. Never even
Went
touched
right
the
in.
water with his truck.
wow,
yeah, I saw a guy go in a couple weeks ago at probably medium tide also, and he was way out of the water, big boat. And he just went right in. And the comment coming out, it goes, nice steep ramp.
Yeah.
So,
Is it as steep as the
steeper.
Plymouth one?
Plymouth is the same, 15,
Yeah, it is 15.
yeah,
Yes. With my boat and my truck, I have a slide down the Plymouth ramp problem and then backing up if it's wet.
It's a slide.
yeah,
That's why we put the grooves going.
Yeah. I need a bigger truck, but it's open.
yeah.
For a smaller boat.
Oh, that's
Go with a bigger truck.
Yeah. Go with the bigger truck. Find a friend with a bigger truck.
my
So-
problem ends up being, at least when I launch in Bourne or other places, sometimes in Plymouth. My anchor is out on the front of the boat with a little pulpit, so that'll hit the top of
Yeah.
it and pull my anchor, like a bent anchor more times.
Really?
It's a winch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I had
basically,
that problem in Plymouth.
based on the steepness of the ramp, so I
I
just
wondered
take it
what-
off.
What if you don't go in as far?
It's a good question. I think
Push the
you're
boat
right,
back.
you're right.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Exactly.
sometimes you're right.
If you don't go
works
as
better
steep, then you're not getting.
based on
And
the
it
tide,
doesn't bring
Yeah.
Stern up and crunch the
Yeah.
anchor.
but if it's a certain tide and it's already so, but yeah, I'll have to play around with it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I bet you're right. You can finagle it.
The one in Bourne at the Mass Maritime, that was too steep.
Yeah,
It was 21,
Wow.
and they were complaining about it. They even have asked them, I said. That small boats are off, it's great for big, 40 footers or something, he said, but. Everybody has that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what little I've heard, everybody is just throw down there, so, but again, I don't hear too much down there. Then we've got all dock A's are brand new, they're in, any issues with those, just
No,
except for the day they were just trying to figure out the length of
other than
the
the
bend.
fact that I gotta get more cleats on for all the tenders. Just pick them up today. so.
Good.
Eventually. Don't get
Do you have anything else for the harbor master report, Tom, or?
No.
No. Okay,
I don't think there was anything else.
yeah,
I mean,
I,
everything seems to be,
it fell into place working with Bo, I mean.
Yeah.
The kid was incredible, absolutely incredible to work with. And he went down Memorial Day Saturday and swept everything and made it all clean and spiffy and,
I let us use his machine for 2 weeks.
yeah,
He used his skid steer to put all the docks in.
yeah,
What-
because you couldn't get the heavy equipment on.
I was wondering where that came from.
So,
Yeah, so he left us the machine. And he actually put in the main docks too, with the excavator.
right,
So it was nice of him to do all that for free, and then we put a thank you Duxbury construction sign up until. Apparently there was a couple of people complaining that we were thanking somebody that got paid to do a job.
and we also paid the state, I said thank you to the state and the
Yeah.
town for funding it.
Yeah,
So we
Yeah.
covered everybody's base,
but there was-
Always something.
yeah,
Should I take that?
it's down.
Somebody, did
Give me
they,
the sign. I'll put it in my
yeah,
book.
did they make you have to do that, or was it like, you know
It was
what, they
called
did,
by the town
they
administrator
did
to
extra
take it.
things, did
Oh, I explained how he did all that stuff for free, let us use his machine, put the mains in with his excavator, but
Still didn't.
Have you-
I should have been explaining to the people complaining.
Let's go hang out with my teeth off.
Huh?
Hang out with my teeth off.
There you go.
Wind protected.
Put it on a boat. I'll take it down when I go out, put it back up when I get there.
He was good with that.
Yeah,
There's one over in Duxbury right now. On the Duxbury Beach, thinking that's for construction. Because I got one over there,
yeah, he was actually happy we did that, so. Nice kid,
yeah,
real nice kid. I know Ryan's not here. I don't know if anybody has anything else about community events.
Yeah, we've got a perfect guy right here talking about what the yacht club's doing.
Yeah. What the yacht club's doing, the landing will be swatting bugs on Friday afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do the landing. A teeny event. I think. I don't think we have anything that's gonna be in the bay that will impact you guys. Or Brown's Bank. Things and that. I don't think, too bad, but. Yacht Club did have an annual meeting, it's, up and alive with 63 members. Currently. And we're offering, sailing instruction to anybody at the yacht club, with paying half of that $400 bill, if that's pretty much, pay maritime school. If you're a yacht club member and that kid goes over there, $400.
How old does the kid have to be?
Yeah, I don't know, it's on one of
Is
those,
she
you could.
30 when you do it?
But it's a lot, it's a great program.
Yeah, my daughter went through it. She taught over there too.
We do have a regatta, planned for, this. That's Saturday. Midday, high tide midday. The same level. From,
this was last year, was it about possible?
oh, we had beautiful. wind last-
Last year was good. It was the year before. I think it was miserable.
Wally's not gonna be
It's
running it.
the
so
only
I got-
time that I'm racing, race committee, I run the race, is either no wind or pouring rain.
We think we'll have great weather, because he's got.
Because
It's got other
I'm not running the races. But I'm gonna be on a boat, so.
How about Fall Fest? Has anybody heard about a Fall Fest this year? No. I know Ryan's not here, so.
Went down. Went down last year.
No, he tried like 4 times, so he got it.
It's,
Yacht
it's
Club would
so
love to
tough.
participate, as will, Planetary Chamber of Commerce and the Kingston Business Association. We can bring businesses, vendors, whatever they want. So if you guys are the head for that, just, you got my number, great phone. Would like to get some support for that event. Brian did it all by himself last year.
Yeah,
And we've got some people that would be really excited about throwing some, showing up.
I tell him.
Yeah,
Get you guys.
trying, he's been distracted. Yeah, so. Try to.
Yeah, because speaking of that, the way commented that the check wasn't cashed and donated last year.
oh, really? Interesting.
I'm sure you can buy a van.
You can't say it was spent on something else.
Yeah. This is true.
I mean, do we want to try to do it?
I thought it was a great idea.
The first year was busy.
Yeah,
Last year, I mean, the weather, obviously,
last year.
it was hard to get
Yeah,
the
In
communication.
the middle year, there was a hurricane or something, right? Yeah, oh, maybe it was.
Was it good? I
good.
think it was good.
Okay.
I don't know what year we did it first.
the first year was crap.
Yeah.
Last year.
Was last year it got bumped because of the rain
Yeah.
to a
Twice,
new date.
yeah.
And then we're competing with the Patriots game.
Yeah.
and Other things, yeah, it just,
It's a tough,
Hard, because it's like,
hard to do,
Sports.
especially, yeah.
the Patriots. The weather,
I'm not going. Water quality, do we have anything? Do we get any reports from the state? I've never seen one, heard of one. I do know they go out there.
Shellfish is open, you know
do they actually do that though for our town or just somewhere around, like maybe Plymouth? Because I know that I've seen recent reports where they close different things
I know Joe-
in the state.
Joe used to take them over.
Joe said the
One
other
of-
day, so I was getting off my boat, he was waiting for them to get on the
Okay.
boat.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
oh, good, all right.
These are
I-
tests that are funded by for the swimming areas that are funded by the Board of Health.
That's not,
I think that's different.
Yeah. And the Board of Health paying for one at Grace Beach, and then they were doing one down at Association Beach, and then we sent the bill to Association Beach. And Dick Ruda was ready to kill, so Kaz and I, when the rain, they never paid his bill before. And, well, we're testing the water, and that's a swimming area, a private beach, and supposed to have
Right.
this test done.
But the township paid it, right?
No,
No,
That's what the argument is, but it also there for the water quality for everybody swimming that's not.
not on the beach.
Right, so to get them particularly, because that's where you do the test. So they're going back at it, it's the problem, but these tests are done for different quality. Right. Done by the county then,
state.
state, more shellfish.
All right, we've talked before about a 5-year plan. It's funny now that we have the ramp done, I'm kind of calling that phase 1. Because it almost looks like half done and half not, so we're trying to figure out what we need in the future. And we've talked about putting those pilings in for the, you know, the racks. I still have them on here, I'll pass this around. Ken, this is in my own little world, so. It's all subject to change if we want. Let's do that. So we have the ramp done, it's all complete. I don't know what it's called, but the little side dock. I think the anchors are in for those, that little ramps that we're gonna put on the side.
Yeah, I don't think we're even gonna do that now.
Okay. You think we'll do something like that in the future, leave that on here, like if we,
Right now, everybody seems to be walking right over to the dock that's there.
is that right?
We'd only gain 6 feet if we did that.
Okay. So that's not,
There's no need of it.
all right, so we'll take those off. Not applicable now. Dock pilings, is that something we should talk to Bo about again? Now that he's down there, is that something that we can do?
I don't think he's got a company that does it, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just to have his
3 years ago, It
insight.
was like, it was super cheap.
Right,
yeah.
It was like, I don't even know, $1,500.
So I talked to the guy who put him on, and said, you know, he said, do a pilot one first, because they had a hard time getting to the soil up there. Might not be able to do it.
yeah, and I know that there's ledge out there, I've heard that, so I don't know if it's close to where the docks are
And there's
now,
water.
it's more to the middle. What's up?
There's water pipe across.
Yeah, that could be an issue, right?
Can't
When you
get
get one of those.
Or if you want, like, one of the steel concept. Pressure treated, I don't know. Going through. Like steel probably super.
Yeah, we just want pilings.
And then we have the rest of the docks, right? So like. Put those things.
Yeah, you put rings on the beach. I think that's pretty simple.
Yeah, those are available, the industry stuff.
Yeah,
The boots.
Yeah.
Both of them.
You can use chain with PVC rollers too, but you're better off. That's a good price for filings.
I don't know, that would be pretty cool, but I think.
yeah, like the rack across the river would only need 3, right? Both ends, one in the middle, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, so it's $6,000 to do, call it, today's money. That's not bad.
That's if that's still
If
Yeah, I
it's,
don't know, that's
right,
still price.
yeah, yeah.
probably 5,000.
Well, I rounded up to 2,000.
Sometimes they have material left over, they sized out 10-inch filings for my dock. The guy says I got almost a 12 left over from the municipal project. So I give it to the same price. You get a guy that's, you only need that few. And like in the bay, anywhere in the bay doing it.
Yeah.
Building private walls, that's the time to pick the phone up.
Right.
Hey, we'll pass the hat for $6,000.
Right,
We don't have to go back. If you want. I'm just saying, that's the way to.
I think, I mean, from putting those together on a part every year, that might be a great way to go. Especially after watching the rack go up the river a couple years ago.
I'm still gonna put them together, but it would just be so simple, we no chains.
Right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be,
Right.
it would just, that wouldn't be any more.
Yeah, get those out.
I'm right though.
Yeah, you didn't come this year, so it was more fun for you.
I'll be there in the fall.
Promise?
You'll make them.
But you're gonna get notified of a permit from up here somewhere. Somebody will.
Oh, yeah.
If you see one of those, that's the time to strike.
Yeah.
Find the contractor and say, look, we're interested in whatever,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5.
Yeah, but you're not gonna do 4 across the river and do the rest of
Right, right.
it. So it would be quite a bit more.
Yeah.
I'm saying to get it done in pieces. Guys mobilize on site.
I called them replace the dog patches. I don't know. I was kind of watching the ones go together. There are some patches out there. Piecemeal, like the little flapper by the harbor master boat.
The thing is probably hard to spoke in the speed.
No, no,
That's
that's,
a mess.
Yeah, that's- Yeah,
it's a whole, we're talking, I was talking with Clancy about it, we're talking about making some notes up for next year.
okay.
That thing with the
Yeah.
square thing.
I mean, I went in the river in the fall once and Mike pulled me out, so if he wasn't there, I'd be going for a ride. The other thing, I know we talked to Bo when he was constructing, you know, do we start talking about putting a seawall in? Like where the new parking lot is and then in front of the harbor master area? Try to protect what is there. So I guess we should probably talk about that a little bit more. And I guess the big one is probably you know, Plan B. Part 2, phase 2 is, I call it a maritime system center, because we could replace the harbor master office, put that on islands, get that up to a height, because on those storm surges, you're in the water. I mean, it's a houseboat at that point.
He's talking about, we were discussing bringing them both in up 2 feet to meet the other parking.
Yeah. So that would be the parking lot, and then the building, put that on pilings to get that up, to call it the FEMA 16.
Right, whatever, yeah, he was saying, put it up high enough in the parking.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so that move some stuff underneath it, you know, and their parking, you know, boat trailers or whatever, the trailer area. It would be 2 feet higher.
Yeah, if you look at the
It'll be
FEMA
one.
floodplain maps for like 30 years, it's like underwater.
Yeah,
That and the Jones River.
There's a whole theme of it that I was part of it. That something represents. I don't know who does it. But they're going through this. Like,
but yeah, but you know, raising the wharf up.
very right.
The whole thing. I did read that online during the winter. So, yeah, but I mean,
You can give the
That's for construction.
yeah,
you can give the building back to the yacht club.
Was that-
1992, that was the yacht club.
was it really?
Yeah, I have the lease, that we did, and leased it.
You did get
The land, and put it on, and then when the yacht club went defunct, back in, I think it was 72 or whatever, he did it to the town. And all that. That's where it came from.
Probably pretty easy to raise it up. It's like a foundation right there. Or put the wall there on.
Oh, talking about a new center,
No, well, yeah, the building, an actual building that's.
Yeah.
Constructed.
but yeah. So. That would become phase 2, we can do all that. Get some prices for that. I don't know if we gotta get some engineering ideas together. Go before town meeting, see if we can get some backing to get just the engineering work done, just like you guys. Start with the engineering, try to figure out what the price is and everything else that needs to get done. So,
It looks good that we came in under budget for the,
yeah.
I mean, we didn't get that money back. But,
Who didn't get the money back?
didn't we, like, we got funding for more than we did it for a lot less than
We did it for a lot less.
Yeah,
There will be money coming back. We don't know the final numbers yet because we don't have all the bills. And there's still one grant out.
Mhm.
So, we could be entitled to, well, not entitled, but if we get the second grant, another $160,000. For the
and where does
project.
that
So
has
goes
to be
back to the town,
right.
to the
That's
CPC fund. Yeah. So,
And you can ask for
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So at least, you know,
exactly.
engineering.
That's right.
sorry, I gotta run upstairs. Excuse me.
You got some good stars next to your name about the first project. so-
Yeah, so let's hope we can get that in the second one. So,
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt. Can I make somebody responsible for anything and?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and, well, I can speak for the 90. I'll just. If anyone wants to come to the planning board meeting, it's gonna be really exciting. We're talking about MBTA zoning,
awesome.
yeah?
That is hot. Thanks, Aaron.
Yep, it's a joint MBTA task force and
Oh,
anybody.
That is interesting.
Yeah, it actually really is.
You're gonna be
Affects
excited,
us
they got
all.
a seat for you on
Oh,
this
thank
board.
you. I can see.
Take care.
You're finally retired.
So Aaron just basically squashed everything. Matt, you asked to have, be a good neighbor put on here?
Yeah, it just, we're putting all this investment into the area down there and just, how do we encourage everybody who's using it to like not trash it, not speed, just basically let's keep the momentum going upward.
It's a good.
You know,
point.
Take care of something
Yeah,
nice.
there's some things like, there's been that whole trash issue down there too, and the littering and all that, just any thoughts on that or?
Is the dumpster down there now?
Just
Okay,
the amount of people put household trash in the fish guts.
is that right?
I gotta put a sign on it, hope for the best, otherwise we're gonna lock it. And then that's no good anyways, because nobody can put their trash.
Exactly, yeah.
And then they'll leave it around. Right.
And the town doesn't want the highway department to put trash barrels, because they don't have time to empty them.
Shouldn't that be part of taxpayers' dollars to empty a couple trash cans that are down,
Yeah.
so that it's not all around the town in the water?
They do, in Duxbury, they do all of them, the whole Duxbury Beach, the highway department.
And they can't get one trash bucket down there. Who does Gray's Beach?
Nobody.
Carry on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Scary out. Oh, that's why it's trashy.
But I mean, highway says it don't do it.
Yeah.
What if we look at the selectmen? Just because highway doesn't want to do it doesn't mean. It's not the end of the road.
The whole town's in the carry over them. Which,
How much would it cost to like get one of like the waste management companies who like does the rounds in the neighborhood anyway? We like put a bin down there and just like subscribe like anybody else, like.
No, the dumpster company probably has barrels, but
Some people don't want to
That's-
walk across the parking lot to.
no, I see
Dump,
what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
If you put a barrel at the
If we,
end of the one, both ramps.
yep,
And have them come pick them.
how much does it? I still do the dump, I don't know, don't subscribe, but how much does that cost for?
I mean,
Don't you,
I have Nauset and they're like 65 bucks for one barrel,
That's it.
once a week. They come.
the only problem with that is you have to get it from twice a week, twice.
At least, yeah.
But you don't need it all year round, I mean, if we just did it
No, no,
during the
no.
summer.
Right, oh, yeah, definitely. And it would only be starting now, really.
Yeah.
You know, June
Three
first,
months.
yeah.
June, July, and August.
And the big barrels too, it's twice the size of the one that used to be there.
Yeah.
The little metal one.
Something that seriously consider, you can always try it, but it's someone that can. If my secretary would let me pay for it out of my. I mean, it might be a pilot thing, you know?
Yeah.
Try it.
Yeah.
Get people, they pick up twice a week.
Yeah. But what about the dumpster? Like, can we add it to that?
I don't know. Maybe I'll find it from the two.
Cause they probably have barrels too.
The cleanest that parking ever, the parking lot ever was the time when me and that group of kids grew up in the neighborhood, were all playing ultimate frisbee down there, like every night in the summers. There's no litter in that. Because people would come down, drive around, see a bunch of teenagers staring at them, scattered out in the lights, of the parking lot, and then they just turn around and leave,
I mean, is there a sign thing to say it's monitored by camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't turn.
Maybe they should be newer signs.
Is it actually, or is it just?
People
a
don't
sign?
read signs.
No, it's camera.
So if people put household trash, you can't have them, cops go and read a license plate and say, like they do in Boston when they do that, when contractors dump stuff.
It's only good if you see them do it.
Yeah.
But Even if the camera has it, oh, because you don't know who's in the car.
You gotta know
Time, what
when
day.
they
Yeah.
put it in and go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that might be. Actually, it's a new company this year too. I think.
Yeah, my cousin loves the new spot the dumpster's in, and she had asked me like, "Oh, yeah, the dumpster moved," and so now I look awesome. And I moved to where it is anyway.
You took care
Had
of it.
nothing to be like, "Oh yeah, I took care of it."
Say it was your idea?
No, I didn't own it that much, but you know,
Yeah, well, it took a little talking, but.
yeah, right.
No, I mean, I don't know what the neighbors up there think, but I mean, they're looking over the top of it. so-
Oh, the Balbonis.
Balbonis,
I don't
yeah.
even think they're here. They're gone in the winter.
Yeah, I don't think there's.
Originally, you wanted that fence on.
Yeah.
And you wanted those blocks, I don't know where the blocks went, but he originally wanted those blocks like stacked up there without the fence.
Oh,
Then you lose
Right.
2 feet of trailer space
Right,
Yeah,
with the thickness. Right now, we don't have the space. I mean, you know what it's like to park a trailer and then. Damn harbor master, leaves the cars everywhere there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I saw that sign going up the street now that says no trailer parking on the street. Is that,
Ring that bell, somebody read the sign.
but yeah,
so you can park there, just vehicles only then?
No trailers, right?
No trailers? Because that takes up like the whole.
Yeah.
That's what happens, you lose.
Hey, handsome.
Hey,
How are you?
They're upstairs.
Oh, all right. Well, nice to see
Sorry, good to see you.
you.
God bless you all.
maybe we don't, I don't know, the trash.
yeah, that could be a good place to start. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, if people don't take the trash out, it goes in the river.
Yeah.
Conservation probably on our side.
yeah. Because I had talked to him
They're
about
not gonna let mud.
this,
go in
the
river.
good neighbor stuff, but it was mostly about the speeding on River Street. What you thought about
I was
that?
actually thinking of putting up. What happens now when you get the heavy rain, runs down the hill.
Yeah.
Where it's all washed out over there by that sign.
Yeah.
Third time it's happened, it goes past that catch basin to the catch basin on the bottom, fills that up with dirt, and then runs right around the corner into our nice new
Water garden.
rain garden.
Yeah.
Fills that up. So I'm thinking, I had mentioned it to Bo the other day about putting a berm right across the street.
Yeah,
It would take some of the water that doesn't go into that corner drain there, send it across the street to the drain over there.
mhm,
Anything that does, might have to come over and would go down to the next one down by the ramp.
Yeah.
The ramp to the building. And he thought that was a pretty good idea, not only that, but everybody that comes down that hill, it's super hard to get to that water. It's
yeah,
amazing watching people come down.
yeah,
The River Street should have speed bumps. There's too many people walking. the
Yeah.
street all the
Crazy.
Yeah.
it's nuts.
And sidewalks.
Again, one of my friends, I did not, and I don't advocate this, but teenage, some of the kids in the neighborhood, if you were going fast, you'd find out by getting something. Your truck. I didn't do that, not me, not advocating for it, but yeah, it's pretty bad.
I just thought, I mean, that would slow people down
At least on
coming
that
down
end, yeah,
there anyways.
Yeah.
But plus, if they knew that there was a speed bump there coming down the hill over the
Yeah.
crest, it wouldn't be so bad.
that's the spot where it makes the least sense to be going that fast, because there's a lot of houses there,
Get excited to get to the water
yeah,
Yeah.
or something, or just the fact that it's such a straightaway. I've caught myself in a couple times like, oh my gosh, slow down.
yeah,
What are you
yeah,
doing?
that's the thing, I mean, I do too, it's just a long,
Yeah.
I mean, well, not long, half a mile, but the whole thing, but yeah, it's a straight
It's
shot.
straight.
What you can do about that, right, speed bumps or something.
Are those catch basins full? Do they need to be
They
empty?
just did it.
Do they?
They actually just did it when he was doing the rain garden because of that. And they said, told me that it was full of seaweed. And I said, full of seaweed, and he got, from the tide when it went up there, and I'm like, so you tell me that whole thing was full of seaweed? I said, because I did look in it with a flashlight. And it was Rich Napier, and he goes, well, it was quite a bit of dirt, and I go, well, I figured it should have been dirt, because that whole hill washed out twice.
Yeah.
And it goes right into that one, so
Mhm.
don't tell me it was full of seaweed.
Yeah.
But
It's funny, the story changed.
yeah,
Yeah,
it wasn't, the seaweed wasn't so bad. But I mean, it is too, it's just gonna fill up that rain garden every time.
Yeah.
Cause it comes right around the corner, and goes in. So I just figured if you took half the water that didn't go in there and shot it across the street, put it in the other catch basin over there, and have a speed bump,
Yeah,
kill two birds with one stone.
for-
The town probably wouldn't like that, right, for plowing?
Probably not, but they don't plow the parking lot anyways. I don't even know why they go.
Being recorded.
Yeah.
And of course, we still have one opening, I don't know,
maybe two.
so yeah, so,
You need to keep it 7, we'll go back to 5. We can't fill it, it used to be 5.
Yeah, we only want need 3 for a quorum, it's 5,
Probably better off at 5.
maybe.
less arguing.
Yeah, who sets it at 7? Is it just the selectmen or do we need town meeting to? change it?
I think the town
It
meeting
might
does.
not be,
Yeah.
Wish it would be approved. It's good.
Yeah. We can think about it, I guess we have time before next town meeting.
Yeah, but just, or if somebody wants to join, a couple someone's,
Even if we have a vacancy, if there's just 5, so do we still need that many to get a quorum, or can we go with 3 if there's only 5 seated?
right?
We just need 3. Okay. Maybe it doesn't matter.
So it's 3 to vote.
Yeah,
So you, on another note, you put all the docs in, other than the mains with the skid steer,
I know the thing is.
like we submit for one of those, can we submit for one of those,
Submit for
like a town, yeah.
a skid steer.
Yeah.
Well,
That's- Yeah, trying. Trying to get used one somewhere.
We can. We do it on the schedule.
If we could get, yeah.
you can do more too.
Yeah.
It'd be good to move the moorings.
You got the track.
Channel markers and,
Sweep it, right, exactly.
yeah, well, Bo, when he swept it, there's a bunch of seaweed.
Oh,
Right out and went, yeah,
Oh, that's good.
yeah,
Yeah. You could sweep the whole
That'd be
thing,
nice.
sweep the back of one.
right.
Hey, we have money, but right in the waterways. We just.
And you can get a decent, like, son one that has his own shop, and one of his clients has a, 2015 is 40, whatever it is, Bobcat, and it's a good size one, real low hours on 15 grand.
Hmm.
Something like that, pretty much all of them down there.
Yep.
Buying attachments. Forks, to pick up everything. Bucket that's on
In the shed to put the stuff in.
it, then we could park it in the fire station.
Mhm.
With that, that's not me. No waterways. It was completely very simple.
I can take that on the windows.
Even when that dock broke was, we couldn't take anything out of the water that night.
No,
because we had
no,
so-
right,
yeah.
But we had that, we could have dragged it out immediately,
Yeah,
and that's probably. the way we did it.
right. It's definitely,
Yeah, could help pull a boat.
Yeah,
Dig slip
yeah.
down in there, or, you know, a lot of
Yeah.
things, yeah.
Guess that's it. Anything, new business?
Did you? I do dredgings at the,
Yeah, well, the dredging's on the bottom is always gotta be there.
well, Tom, I don't,
It's
I
5
think,
years out, but I think if we get the other stuff done, then maybe we can get to the dredging. I don't know, but, I looked into some of the maritime stuff, what's happened. You can get money through, Seaport Economic Council, for, seawalls. A lot of towns are getting the maritime centers. Additions, upgrades, brand new things, some are getting, money for the fund, the engineering stuff, then the buildings, so they get over $1 million. We have a simple setup down there, filings, both things could be a simple, process, like a double wide. Go from single to a double wide, up high, 16 feet, you open up parking space. These guys are up higher. Rooftop deck, No, just.
What if you turn it
Uh,
backwards?
Huh?
What if you turn it the other way?
There's not
Then you go
really
higher
the
than
room
the
there. Yeah,
Plus you'd be losing parking.
yeah,
The last thing we talked about, going in that building is, if you could use that building, say, and then put an addition on the front of it, an octagon for an office part. And then use what we have there for a workshop and that.
so that's why I call it maritime, so that we could have the bathroom.
You got $1 million. You get a beautiful prefab.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
just spray it on the pier.
I mean, he said he would pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that would- Or like, way
I,
more than
we could do it a lot less than, I mean. Look at what, like, I forget the towns, I got them all written down, but Marion and all these other towns that just get millions of dollars, these big elaborate things, I mean. This is the Audi now.
Yeah.
You know, we're a little simpler down there, we're not greedy,
$200,000.
we could do a beautiful job.
I think that should be like our
And-
priority, right?
He seemed to think that he could do the whole thing, 2 walls, 1 wall on each side, raise the pier, raise the parking lot drainage in the building for under million.
That should be our priority.
That's,
Yeah.
that's why I have it down as a 2-year
Yeah.
goal, so if we could look at. Looking at the seawalls first, the protection, get that in place. And then, get the maritime center, or whatever you wanna call it, phase 2. Get that done, because we definitely need the engineering.
This goes off fancy.
It really
Is
does.
that too fancy for you guys?
I want you to have. Huh?
Just like,
Yeah.
let's propose, I know he sent me a picture from, South Carolina, Hilton Head, South Carolina, Haveloss's office. It's a big octagon building, way up. I'm like, what do I need that for? So if you had an octagon, you know, a good, say the size of this is an and you had windows all the way around it, you could look down the river, up the river, out front. You know, it'd make it look nice too, you know, you know. Doesn't have to be quite that fancy.
But it'll be nice.
Yeah.
And you won't be sitting on the water on the
Yeah.
flood high tides.
Yeah, but he was saying that there's a lot to do with, the title, whatever they
The
call it.
FEMA 16.
Yeah, yeah, and he was saying right now you can get money for that because he goes, in case of emergency, you can't even get to the office if you have a flood tide.
Yeah.
Without getting wet.
But I mean, I wouldn't sell you stuff short to save on that, like, make it as nice as you can possibly make.
Oh, yeah,
It's gonna be different one.
Well,
Like, they're not gonna give it
well,
back.
exactly,
I
but
just don't think it needs to be quite that fancy.
we don't need a multi-million
Yeah,
dollar
No,
place.
we don't
no.
need the
We
plumbing.
need to keep the property taxes down.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't need to be too fancy.
But the funding is out there
Yeah.
that we can get.
So a
If we can
rectangle
get,
with windows.
Yeah,
I mean, we're definitely giving money back to the town. Hopefully we'll get more money. I'll know in about a month. If we're getting more money back, it'd be nice to give them back. And it's not like you wanna say, okay, we're giving you money now to take later, but that plants a seed that
yeah,
we're fiscally responsible and we can do our projects
and come on the budget.
and come under budget and end up with something really nice. I mean, you just look at the picnic area with those new railings and stuff, and I mean, I see people down there all the time sitting in the car because they handicap and eat their lunch or whatever. Now they can get out, go right down the ramp, look at the table. and
I
it's
know that Kingston magazine that we get, when we go today. They're always with the fire.
Yeah,
That might be a good one. I have the contact
Yeah.
person.
It's a
Oh,
great.
you can talk to them.
I love him.
Yeah.
He's always, he wants us to advertise him, but
wait till I put them, I'm gonna get 2 picnic tables, most didn't have. I'm gonna put 2 on there, 2 small ones side by side, instead of having one that way, I put them, so. You can have 2 different.
Pregnant has wooden ones.
Yeah, I have one in my backyard. Probably really good. How do you pay for it? Cash? Not-
Yeah,
That's the only problem with that one.
yeah.
And I'll tell you, I bought one of his a couple of years ago. And it's roughly 4 men and a baby to move it. Oh,
That's,
Yeah,
my sister
it
has
looks
it.
it.
I don't know if she's ever moved one, yeah.
yeah,
That's good in
Yeah.
the tides.
oh, it's great, I'll tell you, mowing the lawn, I put it in the driveway, I'm like, I'm not pulling that.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Be nice to have people start to use it and appreciate it. And that would help us with our support too.
I see a lot of people down there just sitting there,
Yeah,
you know.
Is there anything gonna be done with marking for spaces on that concrete?
As a matter of fact, he was supposed to call me by last Friday, and I got a guy that was gonna give us a price to do it.
Oh, okay,
Mark the whole lot and the 2 handicaps.
that would be great, only because, typically the way it's been, you have people parking way apart from each, like,
Yeah.
if we don't have lines, people are definitely gonna
Yep.
fit half the cars you could if.
I was gonna try to do it myself, Glenn and I were gonna do it, and I started talking to Mark Riles, and he's like, I mean, Glenn's got the stuff from work, as far as, and I did it when I worked for the highway department, it's not rocket science, But Matt Riles said you could probably have it done for under $3,000. And he gave me the name of the guy that his business back on, so. We hear that. It would be nice to have it, and have the handicaps done the right way.
right.
Do you think we'll still fit that middle section of parking?
I don't know, but Bo was gonna do it on a computer somehow, I'll figure it all out, see how many spaces you could put around the edges, down the middle and all that, math wise. Do a printout, but I said, I'll get somebody to do it. He just wanted to do everything. He really
That's
did.
amazing.
He
Yeah,
wanted to build do the rounds. I said, you do the digging. He said, I'm having the welder that does all the docks do the rounds. I'll do it. So, he's a good guy.
just watching him push that ramp and it was just unbelievable.
Maybe work.
Yeah,
I heard a lot of people say it couldn't be done until.
oh, yeah, yeah.
It's gonna
I
crack.
think a lot of people are gonna put their lawn chairs down there and just wait for it to break. And the thing just slid in.
Oh, I mean, what, 6, 7, 6,
Eight.
8?
Yeah,
Yeah.
A little bit of
It's
weight
hard
to
break
it.
something
Yeah.
big.
plus with all the rebar,
Yeah,
tension
I
cable.
was gonna say, it looked like your attention getting,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know how we get the machines up top. Ridiculous. On top of the hill.
Yeah,
yeah, kept putting dirt,
you put that in dirt.
get up in the machine and, yeah.
But then you get the cast up there, right, to push it?
Yep.
Like, how did you get those?
Us to.
So we had cat pushing cat.
Oh, you mean the machines?
Like, how did you get them up above?
Oh,
the
he
ramp?
made a ramp.
He made a ramp
Oh,
in
he
the
did?
back.
Okay.
Yeah. But then he put, in the middle, right, it was a Caterpillar, and a cat behind it, and he put this huge tree log in between it, so it rolled. So this one here, the one in the back is pushing the one in the front. And because it rolled, it just kept pushing. It was just brilliant.
This is the first time you've done it?
A ramp like that, yeah.
I'm sure it would be.
So when he did the, we can end the meeting, right?
Yeah.
You all want to, okay, then, what meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.